we're going to have some fun tonight.
Got a frog in your throat, Farles?
A little bit. Gibbs, what are the downsides of playing a player out of position, specifically outside backer at middle linebacker, and then specifically a corner at safety? How do you feel that matters?
You might see an awareness drop. You see obviously the overall goes down, so a lot of people look at that and say, okay, maybe you have an awareness drop there. But really, what I look at it as, it's a kind of like a fundamental thing of a position to another position. So fundamentally, if you have a defensive tackle, right? And what do defensive tackles typically do well? Well, they're strong. They can stop the run with block shed.
Yep.
And they're usually not very fast. That's fundamentally what a defensive tackle usually is, correct?
Right.
Well, if you now move a defensive tackle and put him at defensive end, what are some of the things that you now lose that you typically might have from a defensive end?
So you're going to lose a little flexibility, perhaps to drop into coverage. You're going to lose...
Check.
Probably some pass rush ability, but you're going to gain some strength and some potential block shed.
Correct.
And that's what you see with 3-4 ends. And that's why you see NFL teams be able to change back from 3-4 to 4-3. My thoughts on it are, if an outside linebacker is suited to play middle linebacker, he can, and you should put them there in mind.
Absolutely.
You definitely should. You should not hesitate to play a player out of position, in my opinion. CB to safety, if a guy has that 96 or higher zone coverage, you got to put him there, in my opinion. You can't just say, well, he's not a safety. You're probably not going to have hip power because CBs don't have hip power, generally, except for night training.
So now you're going to lose out on run support.
Correct.
Gain coverage, lose run support. Think Devin McCourty, former corner, now free safety, not the best in terms of run support.
But I have no problem with people playing their guys out of position.
No.
And I think you freak out because you're like, wow, they lost a lot of overall potentially. Some guys go up, but generally you do lose overall. I played him at left outside backer instead of right outside backer. J.J. Watt, he's at DT. Now he's 81 instead of a 92 from his left
That's
end.
a real thing right there.
People get scared. I would not be scared. I would say, okay, J.J. Watt has plenty of power move, plenty of block shed, plenty of strength to play D tackle in this game, and you're not going to miss out on anything. And then in pass situations, or in rush situations, you can play end and have a beefy D tackle. Road to the playoffs, Dan Williams, super cheap, or Brandon Williams, excuse me. But move JJ in for pass rush purposes, and then go get yourself a good edge rusher for cheap. Robert Ayers, super cheap, to play end. He's not good against the run, so you wouldn't play him there against the run. But that's how you can use playing players out of position to your advantage. You want to use it to their strengths. You want to use it to what you're trying to do with your defense. Very important.
Yeah, and I think that another thing there is it's about knowing what is important at each position, especially for your scheme. So why is it okay to move left end J.J. Watt inside to a defensive tackle position? Well, it's okay to do that because he has the key stats that make a good defensive tackle: block shed and strength. Those are kind of the core things you need to have an effective defensive tackle to stop interior runs. You don't want to move, for a great example here, Michael Strahan, one of the best pass rusher in the game.
Yeah.
You can't move him just because he's the best pass rusher in the game. It doesn't mean you can put him inside and have him play over the center.
He'd be better at backer, almost.
He would be.
Yeah.
But so that's the example is know the position. Say, what do I need out of this outside linebacking position? Do I need coverage? Do I need to be able to stop the run, hold the edge? Do I need hit power? Do I need him to be able to pass rush? And then that's going to define if you can move a player out of position based on those ratings and based on what you need fundamentally from the out of position.
Quick note, last question. Do you think overall rating dropping affects how well your players play? Have you seen it? Have you sensed it?
I've never once in my 30 bazillion hours playing Madden, I've never once concerned about it, never once felt bad about it, and I never will.
I
If
don't
they got
feel
the
bad
core
about
ratings, I'm good with it.
I haven't noticed it. I always